Et salut à tous, bienvenue sur cette course au Japon, sur le circuit de Fuji. C'est la troisième course de la saison dans cette ligue privée stock Carnaval du Brasil. La semaine dernière sur Summit Point, j'ai pas mal cartonné. J'ai raté la première course de la saison sur Interlagos. Et donc là, je compte bien me rattraper. Malheureusement, j'aime beaucoup Fuji, mais je suis pas hyper rapide. Donc dans le hit 1, qui dure 15 minutes, je vais démarrer P9, je finirai P5, ce qui est correct. Et dans le hit 2 qui dure une demi-heure avec arrêt au stand, je commence P6 et je finirai P3. Et je serai même à un moment P2, mais honnêtement, ça roule très fort devant et j'arrive pas à les tenir. Les mecs roulent très vite. Et le tout avec des commentaires en anglais. Allez, let's go!
Oh, hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Gatso. Welcome to Race First coverage of Week 3 of Season 1 of 2022 of the Stock Carnaval de Brazil, coming to you from scenic Fuji International Raceway in Japan. We have a bit of technical difficulties tonight. Only one mic seems to be working. Antonio is working on his side right now. But that's why we're a little late getting into this thing. We're trying to give him excellent time to get that mic working. If he joins us, he will join mid-broadcast. But let's take a look at the starting lineup of the first heat race for tonight as qualifications are complete. And we'll get that up on the screen here. Here's your starting grid. Christopher Hill on the pole, P1, Facundo, and I know you guys are going to give me a hard time on pronouncing these names. Sorry, that's another reason why we wish Antonio was here. Badrago, P2, Murcia, P3, Miranda, P4, Montero, P5, Shorts in P6, Oliveira, P7, Wang in 8th, Vergon in 9th, Poteet 10th, Tucker 11th, Luzon 12th, Johnston in 13th, James Watson starting 14th, Dan Miglin 15th, and Drew White bringing up the rear in the 16th position. Nice showing tonight of cars here at Fuji. Since this is a track many of us are not familiar with, we'll go ahead and bring in the track map for you there. This very long straight getting ready to go green. For the first heat race, we'll remind you of the format here just a second. Christopher Hill is starting from the pits. We'll talk about that here in a second. And we are getting ready to go green. Bringing them down very slowly, very slowly. And there they go. They are off. Green flag here at Fuji Speedway. For the first time with the Brazilian stock cars as they fan out 4 wide in the mid-pack. Side by side, Rago and Marcia go. Now we have the 99 of Montero behind the leader. Despite qualifying on the pole, Christopher Hill had to start from the pits for the first heat race tonight for a unsafe rejoin last week. So he will have to come from deep in the field while everyone has a head start. I believe JJ Wang also had an EOL for tonight's first race as well. Remember, after a 60-minute practice, which they just participated in, and a 10-minute or 10-lap qual run, the first heat race is 30 laps or 15 minutes, whatever comes first. Normally, it's been lately the laps, but we will see here. Just want to make a test, make sure people could still hear me on the audio. Test, make sure people can still hear me on the audio. And I heard myself in the stream, so we are broadcasting. Oh, little contact in the back there. Looks like with Bruno Miranda. Bruno gets it straightened up. A lot of runoff area here at Fuji. Looks like we're going to be able to do 8 laps for this first heat race. Montero is your leader. And the number 99, Yukos Esports entry, the green, white, and black Chevy Cruze. And then right behind him, the points leader, Rago. And we will look at the points here momentarily. This field is starting to get pretty well stretched out. We'll go to the back, further back there, and I think we've had a side-by-side battle. There we go. That's J.J. Wang and Alexander Poteet. Actually, it's Oliveira. Oliveira getting the position. Poteet right behind Wang. This is the battle for 7th. So what happens at the end of the heat race is that the first 8 get inverted. So whoever finishes 8th will start the feature, which is 60 laps or 30 minutes. They will start to feature on the pole. So play some strategery, and also, I mean, it's also impacts the points. And if someone in chat can confirm whether they hear audio or not, just say yes, no, yes audio, no audio. Check on another source, but I think we are getting audio on the Yeah, see, I'm on my phone there. That's how. So we're getting audio. Something's not right with. I think another one of the setups here. We'll try to keep working on that as we get going here. 6 laps to go here before we reach the time limit. We're starting to get a little battle going up further here between the 99 Montero. They're all starting to group together. I think a lot of that has to do with the long straights here at Fuji. Of course, Formula One used to come here many years. IndyCar has been here once and a long time ago during the USAC Champ Car era. Jackie Stewart won that race. Originally, the facility was built to be an oval track, and then they decided to go ahead and build it into a road course because the oval I believe it was going to be too expensive, I think is what it was. But it was going to be the Indy 500 of the Far East. Everybody, just about everyone on push to pass going down that main straight. Get you a running order at the moment here. Currently watching Montero in the 99, P4. His teammate right with him in the 19 there. Bruno Miranda. See him quite frequently on the channel, mainly in IndyCar. Okay, thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate that. Andrea, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Guys have been lifesavers tonight. Let us know your favorites. Make sure we'll put them on camera for you. But it looks like Rago is trying to run away. Of course, he finishes first here in the first heat race. He'll get the maximum points, which we will show you the point situation here in just a second. And then he will be slotted back to the 8th position when the feature starts. And from what we've seen at Summit Point, he will have no problem passing people. And as you see how wide the racetrack is here at Fuji compared to Summit Point was about 2 cars wide, and that one shot easily 3 of the 4 cars wide here with these mid-compact, I guess, cars, what they be called here in the United States, the Toyota, and then, of course, the Chevy Cruze.
Yeah, quite a difference between track width from last week.
And we got out. We got you. Great.
Hey, hello. Just 1 second. All right, we're all set.
All right. Well, better late than never, but allow me to introduce my partner in the booth tonight, expert analysis. He's my teammate in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series. It's Antonio Estrada. Antonio, last week when we were just talking, we were at Summit Point, which is more of a, let's call it a gentleman's racer's course. However, today we move back to a more, I guess, let's say proper racetrack for these cars, Fuji. How will the racing is going to be different today as opposed to what we saw last week? And I think we've already started to see hints of that coming down that main straight with the way that this group is kind of strung out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, Gary. Something that we're definitely going to see is a little bit more of separation between the cars, which is something that will naturally happen due to the length and the width of the track. You cannot really get away from anyone else in Summit Point last week, but here it's so large. There are certain points where you're going to be able to check out a little bit from the cars behind you. There are a lot of differences. There are a lot of elevation changes that really offset the car. There are a couple of off-camber corners which are quite tough to deal with, especially the corners 13 and 16. And although I see that we're not running the chicanes, so that's gonna make it a little better for that Dunlop corner exiting turn 10. It's gonna allow these cars to drive off a little bit more and keep them a little bit more stable. And yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna see a little bit of a different racing, but also we're gonna see that push to pass come into play in that very large front straight that we have here at Fuji.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be on a front straight any longer, or at least any straighter than that all season long. That might even include Interlagos when they revisit there here in a couple of weeks. And while we talk about that, let's take a look at the point situation. Let me bring that up on screen here. There is the point situation. Arago is your leader. Montero is only 4 points behind. That is a very tight top two. Then we come down to P3 and P4. We're very tight there as well. And then a tight 5th and 6th. So we seem to be running and competing a lot in pairs. That might have to do with the way that the points are kind of handed out versus the feature race versus the heat race. But you do get points for both. There you see the big gainer last week was Vignone, which we were just watching on screen. The Frenchman up 5 spots. Unfortunately, the big loser last week, Bruno Miranda. But we've seen Bruno Miranda come back from hardships many times before. So we'll expect him to recover pretty easily from one bad week off to another.
Yeah, both Christopher Hill and Bruno Miranda, they dropped in that list, and that was mainly because of that lap 1 snafu they had on the heat race last week at Summit Point. That basically netted them very little points, and that's why they're not fighting up there for the first spots with Rago and Montero. And I mean, those two have been the class of the field so far in this season. And I mean, last week I said that they were 54 points up for grabs per session or per week. The truth of the matter is it's 56. That's the maximum that you can get. What I didn't include last week was that you get points for a pole position and also for being on the front row. So P1 and P2 they both get P1 gets 2 points, P2 gets 1 point. So that's also something else that's very important for these guys to go ahead and qualify, even if they have a penalty like Chris Hill did today.
Right. And Chris Hill, we do have him on cam right now. There he is in the 101 Team Watson's racing setups. He is currently moved himself up to 6th. So we might remember he started from the pits. That was his penalty. Starting from pit road, you saw him sitting there revving his engine, waiting to go as we came to green. We're on the white flag lap, by the way, but he has moved his way up to 6th. So that is, if he holds his spot, that's going to translate the 3rd starting spot for the feature. Picking up our leader, Rago, as he is already halfway through the lap. This is turn 8 into turn 9, little kink. And of course 10, this is where normally a chicane would be if Formula 1 was here. Although we did a IndyCar test here not too long ago, and they did not use the chicane there, and they seem to really like that. So, but then again, I think I can't think of any IndyCar driver that wouldn't mind one less chicane.
Yeah, for sure. And that chicane, I mean, luckily we don't have it. While I was driving doing some testing in this car, I did have that chicane in there, and it was a little bit of a nightmare. So very, very happy that they don't need to do it this time around.
Well, getting ready to make that turn down the main straight to get the win for maximum points for the first race of tonight. Rago is your winner. As he gets ready to cross the line here in Fuji, he will be slotted back to 8th for the next round feature race. Macera is P2, Montero P3, Miranda, there he is, P4. The Frenchman, Vignone, P5. Christopher Hill works his way back up to P6. A great run for him. He's probably pretty exhausted already, and he still has a 30-minute feature race to go. And, here comes everybody barreling into the final turn here. So let's take a look real quick, if we can, at the results for the first race here. It's Rago, Macera, Montero, Miranda, Vignone, Hill, Wang, Short, Poteet, Oliveira, Luzon, Watson, Johnston, White, and Miglin at the top 15. And I believe that is it. Yeah, and Joshua Tucker, P16. Yep, P16. And we got a 16-car field. That's a pretty good showing for tonight. So the first 8 will invert when we line back up. We do have a little bit of a warm-up here, which everyone will be allowed to do real quick. Just to let you know, on the feature race, again, it's 60 laps or 30 minutes, whatever comes first. 30% fuel. Great picture there of Mount Fuji, the volcano, active volcano still. But 30% fuel these cars will carry. They can perform a tire change if they want to, but the general consensus and rule is they're not going to change tires. Let's take an opportunity to look at the remaining schedule for the season. After today, and we go to next week to Laguna Seca, we are halfway through the first campaign here in the Stock Carnaval de Brasil series. This is their first season of 2022. We will go to Laguna Seca. Then the following week, we will do the road course at Phoenix. That should be interesting. Then everyone will make their first trip to Sandown. I have never seen that track before. That should be pretty interesting. Then, wow, this could be pretty interesting as well. Watching these guys go down the back straight there at Watkins Glen, we'll probably see ample use of the push to pass at that course. And then they will wrap up with their second trip to Interlagos at the 1st of September. So that is the Stock Car de Brasil series schedule for the remainder of this season. So the button,
whenever you press it, it has a delay of 5 seconds to engage. Once it kicks in, it stays on for 21 seconds.
21 seconds, okay. All right.
And then you were at 85 seconds for it to be available again.
Okay. So yeah, you get a bit of a cool down period. You can't mash the button as some people do in IndyCar. Here you got to be a little bit more strategic about it. So let's take a look here at the lineup for the feature. We got Matthew Short, who finished in the 8th spot. We'll start here on the front row in the pole position. Right next to him is JJ Wang. There is Christopher Hill. He recovered from starting in the pits. Actually, JJ Wang recovered from an EOL. So both great starts for them. There is a Frenchman, Vignone. Miranda has lined up. There he is. Right next to him is Montero. Macera, P7, and Facundo Rago. He, by virtue of winning, is inverted back to the number 8 spot. And then everyone from 9 on back is where they finished in the feature. Poteet, Oliveira, Luzon, Watson, Johnston, White, Miglin, and Tucker. And very shortly, we are going to go racing one more time here for 30 minutes or 60 laps, whatever comes first.
Whatever comes first, but yeah, like Facundo was saying in his interview, you really need to be patient, especially on the feeder race, because you have a lot of time to make up spots in case you, for whatever reason, get a little squabbly or whatever. There is time to get those spots back.
Bring the track map back out. See, they have a very, very long run to the start zone. That was one of the things of points of contention from last week. I guess the start zone was not really defined very well. They redefined the start zone, so they have to wait till the green is given. They cannot get a head start here with the pace car pulling off. They have to wait for the green. Once the green goes, they can commence racing, and we are almost there. It just seems like it takes forever, especially when we're used to IndyCar racing here on the channel. And there you go, and they're already starting to fan out 3 wide behind. Here's a good look at them all coming down to turn 1. 4 wide, 5 wide at one point to the inside. Matthew Short, a road racing veteran, is going to hold the lead. JJ Wang, who is among the series points leaders, going to be right there with him. Christopher Hill slotted in behind his teammate Wang. Miranda in a battle there with the Frenchman. Here is Montero. Ooh. Almost a little contact there between Vignone and Miranda. Everyone's still pretty good together coming at corner number 10, which could be a passing zone. Oh, one of the Team Watson cars going sliding. That is Joshua Tucker. Nope, that is.
I think it was Poteet.
Poteet. There it is. He's back underway. He still has a long way to go, though. He should not panic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just getting started, and you can make up some spots. That's bound to happen. Just shrug it off, and let's go back at it. I'm looking at the front group. Both the Juncos teammates and the Argentos teammates, they're staying together pretty much all race long. I mean, that's something to be interesting, how they're going to move up through the field. And also, we need to remember that on the first lap, that push to pass button is unavailable. So
it's disabled. That is correct. Look at Christopher Hill's back of his car. Has he got damage?
Yeah, somebody ran a little bit hot on one of the corners and gave him a little tap, but I think it's fine. I don't see really any performance loss in that car. Just, Robin's racing.
Robin's race, that's right. Get a good look to the inside of the roll cage configuration of these cars through his trunk there. Good thing that, yeah, if that was on the front, that'd be like a huge parachute.
Miranda and Vignone, they're fighting with JJ Wang there for P4, P5 now.
Coming 3 wide just about here into corner number 10. Oh, little door check there from Wang to Miranda. And we're 3 wide, rejoining the racetrack.
Yeah, and Maceda and Rago, they're both trying to capitalize on that, and they will. And Miranda goes from 4th to P8, just like that. And a little bit more of hip checks there from Maceda to JJ Wang.
Yeah, I'm thinking when it came to the teammate, not a lot of consideration was given that time.
Yeah, no.
Probably gets on the radio and it says, "Give that guy a little nudge for me, would you?"
Yeah, yeah. And now Rago is trying to get by Maceda.
Here we go, 3 wide down the main straight, and we're looking at Rafael Oliveira right there in the middle. JJ Wang is kind of falling behind. He might be, well, he wasn't on the button. Just about everyone else was.
Yeah, that 100 extra horsepower really gives you that boost and makes it seem like you're even letting off the gas. Well, you're not.
So we are projecting 18 laps here for the feature. We're only 3 laps in.
Yeah, you should be able to do around 10 laps on a fuel tank, so then you would probably need to beat around, halfway, maybe a little bit more than that, and get around 6 to 8 gallons, and you should be ready to go all the way to the end. And it basically takes around a second per gallon, so you should be under pit stall around 7-8 seconds or something like that, maybe even a little less if you're able to conserve some fuel. And yeah, again, no tire change, because that would set you back another 30 seconds.
Battle is at the front. Hill is not letting Short get away.
Side by side now. And Hill is going to be able to complete that move.
Hill with a slightly damaged car to the lead. Short will try to get that back here at the end of the long straightaway. I want to thank everyone for being there patient tonight and being here watching the program. We'd like to let you know that more than half of you watching tonight are not subscribers, and if you could do us a big favor and change that by hitting subscribe, you'd be doing us a big favor. We're on a big drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy our coverage of iRacing and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. We have less than 120 to go. We got one of the, that's Bruno Miranda at the top of the hill there, recovering. Yeah, we got about less than 120 subscribers to go. You can do us a big favor by hitting that subscribe button right now to get us to that 1,000 mark. And while you're at it, go ahead and smash the like button as well, and click the bell so you don't miss out on more future iRacing broadcasts, including the next round of the Brazilian Stock Car Series. And tomorrow, Antonio and I will be doing IndyCars at Indianapolis on the brand newly released road course, Indy GP road course. We're doing that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time right here on Race First. So be sure to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell. We certainly would appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure we will. I was just watching Rago, and he didn't seem to be as patient as he wanted to be on that interview. He had a run-in with Matthew Short then, and then there were 3 wide for P3, and he had to fall back to P6 to avoid wrecking. So yeah, that's tempers are flaring here.
Yeah, looks like Short went from the lead all the way back to the mid-pack in rather quick order. But he's still hanging on, still in a good points-paying position, but Tarago is right on him. Actually, Short is pulling away. He's on the button.
Wow. Whoa.
Oh, he went right. We just missed that one. He went right to the... Oh, and there's contact. And...
Matthew Short and Sebastián Maceira, they were just wrecked.
Yeah, and let's take a look at that. We'll go back and rewind and go back in the Wayback Machine and check that one out as they were coming down the main straight. Short was on the button. That's Maceira. Maceira gets him a bit of the Pruitt fade, and they make contact. So he runs him down to the white line into the... oh, interesting. It's tough to it's tough to pin that one on someone. We'll let race control make a call on that, but yeah, he kind of faded him down to the white line and then to the pit exit paint there, and Short had to take it all the way down there, and of course he was going to have a horrible entry in the 1, being that low on the racetrack. And then unfortunately he and Maceira collected each other at corner entry there, and it looks like they both might be done. They're both in the pits. They believe they towed, so they are going to be there for a considerable amount of time. So we also got Bruno Miranda also in the pits. So each one of the big teams has one of their cars in the pits for one reason or another. I'm not sure what happened to Miranda, but he's there.
Yeah, I think it was due to that incident he had lap before.
Okay.
But I was looking at that incident between Matthew Short and Sebastián Maceira, and yeah, I mean, I don't think there was any way that any of them was going to make that corner. So yeah, that's going to be like you said, that's going to be tough for race control to decide what to do. So the Team Watson teammates are checking each other out there.
We go back to Team Watson there.
Yeah, Dan Miglin and James Watson there had a little bit of an issue, but
Watson's the boss, so you got to be careful there.
Yeah, for sure. And Ezequiel Montero just went by Olivier Vignone for P2.
Yeah, Vignone has quietly kept his nose very clean and has worked his way up to P3 and is just kind of hanging out. Again, last week we were just talking about him doing that. He was just kind of, but then the very next lap, as soon as we said that, he automatically, he like dropped all his patience, was like, hey, check this out. Olivier's very, very patient and everything, and the next lap he's like trying to pass everybody everywhere. But it looks like this lap he is actually maintaining patience, following Montero in his tire tracks, and they're both maybe trying to track down Christopher Hill and preventing Hill from running away. I'm not sure how much of the damage is hurting Hill, but Hill is slightly pulling away. He has a bit of a advantage. We'll bring the ticker out for you here and show everybody what the gaps are. So
yeah, looks like a second, a little bit over a second between Hill and Montero right now.
Yep, Montero and Vignone both on the push to pass. Ate up a lot of space that time. Montero 8/10 back. Vignone having a little difficulty at corner exit, probably because of that push to pass button. He is falling now back about 2.5 seconds. And here comes the other big team involved in today's race. Facundo Rago, your points leader, and there he is. And he is now looking at attacking Olivier Vignone here as we are just about to the halfway point. Not sure when these guys are going to pit, but there is a pit stop coming for at least fuel for all these cars.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Rago seems to be doing the same thing he did last week at Summit Point. He also had an early incident on the future race. He went down to P8 or 10 or something like that, and then he clawed back all the way to the front. And I mean, right now, quietly, he went all the way back to P6, P7 because of that incident he had, and now he's all the way back to P4. So this is kind of playing right into his hands again.
Let's take a look at the interval between Rago and Vignone. It's 1.6 seconds, 1.5 to Vignone. Looks like Montero is caught up.
Right on
yeah, looks like he's run downhill. Hill is on push to pass this time.
And that's going to give a little bit of a, drafting to Ezequiel Montero for free.
Now, is that green light you see in their dash right there, is that indicative of them being on push to pass?
That's indicative of it being available for them.
Okay, okay.
When you turn it off, well, when it's turned off, that means that you either engaged it or you are waiting on the cooldown period.
All right. Kind of reminds me of the LED name or number plates that Indy cars used to have, the DW12s. They would, I believe, they would blink green or something if they were on their push to pass, so people could see it on TV. Yeah. So very interesting. That's a good way. That's actually an excellent way to let the people in the stands know. Because here we have telemetry. It's virtual racing. We can tell you when they're on it. Just very easily by looking at our telemetry overlays. And yeah, I guess if you went to a race for real, you would really have no way of knowing, just assuming, I'm guessing. And speaking of assuming in a battle here, we got a battle now has shrunk up here between Rago and Vignone. They are right next to each other.
Yeah, that's for P3, and again, looks like Facundo Rago is doing what it said, and it's playing right into his hands. Just be patient and pick them off one by one. There, as he tries and make a move there for P3 on the exit of turn 13.
Yeah, looks like Vignone had a very wide exit there. Looks like he had some understeer. Rago not on push to pass.
I'm trying to go for the lead. I'm sorry, but he actually does it. He makes it past.
Take a look here. The lead there. There he is on push to pass. Had to dive deep in, but he gets the pass pulled off, and he's able to get back out wide to make his braking and turn into turn one. And now we're going to see if Christopher Hill can keep up, if that damage really is inhibiting him any. But Rago did get around Vignone right there. He drafted him down the main straight and pulled out and passed him natural style without push to pass. Showing some drivers in the pits. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Johnston, Miglin in the pits right now. Short in the pits, Macera in the pits, but I believe Macera is due to an incident, but I do believe Short is there for an extended stay. Watson has been to pit road already for new set of tires. I believe his stop is done, or not new set of tires, fuel. Johnston on pit road. Looks like that is a scheduled stop for fuel. Miglin
just went by Ezequiel Montero, but I think he's going to get a slowdown.
Oh, did he go a little wide there?
Yeah, he went a little wide on the exit of that turn, and I'm guessing he has to serve a slowdown, but he's still up front.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on the cars that have made their pit stops. Scheduled pit stops for Tucker, Miglin, Watson, and Montero. Yeah, he is going to take the wide shot there.
A little bit of an undercut.
A long pit road here, as you would imagine here at Fuji Speedway, Fuji International Speedway. Due to the long straight here, there we go. Watch him, see him coming into his stall, hitting his marks, and they will just add fuel, and he will be away here very shortly.
or not that shortly.
Hope we didn't have a speeding penalty. 16, 17, maybe he's changing tires? I don't know.
Something's not right there.
Any mandatory repairs or something? Yeah, he's been in the box for 27 seconds already, so... And
wow, that changes everything.
Yes, and everyone else is kind of coming in behind him on a scheduled stop. Yeah, he's still there. We're watching, and I don't know. Well, we'll go back to Christopher Hill now, who is your leader by 3 seconds over Facundo Rago. We were kind of teasing him earlier when patience was easier said than done, and he has maintained that patience since that moment, and he is now up to P2 just by really driving his own race. Here comes Christopher Hill to pit road. And here comes Rago, and here comes Vignone.
Yeah, so it was a 49-second stop for Montero. So that's probably maybe.
That's got to be speeding, isn't it? Yeah, is it speeding a 40-second hold?
Maybe. Yeah, that could also be it.
JJ Wang was set to inherit the lead. He is on pit road. Luzon. In that Yates Racing livery, Toyota or Texaco Star livery.
Hill is gone.
Watson is back out on the racetracks. Yeah, he had a great stop in the box 39, on pit road for 40.1, in the box for 9.1. Rago on pit road for 40.2, in the box for 9 flat. So about a push there. He didn't really gain much time at all. And also Vignone, he was on pit road for a 40 flat and in the box for 9.2. So everybody's about the same amount of time. No one's really making up space there on pit road by virtue of a pit stop. They're going to have to make it up here on the racetrack the old-fashioned way. But that is your top three. Hill by 4 seconds over Rago. Rago by 1.2 over Vignone. And Vignone has 12 seconds over Wang and P4. Watson, the head of all of Watson Racing there, he is 5 seconds, actually 11 seconds up to Wang. 5 seconds ahead of Luzon. So we got 8 laps to go.
Yeah, and Montero after that that stop went all the way back to P9, and he seems to be 8.5 seconds away from Rafael Oliveira there on P8. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to make very many moves here. Yeah, I'm not sure if he had damage or if he just forgot to change to uncheck the tire change.
There's everyone's best lap right now. About a 143 is what you're seeing for a best lap. Rago, 143 flat, it looks like, is the purple lap at the moment. No, actually, Montero, 142.8. That is actually your purple lap. So lap here around, it takes, it's 140-ish, so it's about the same amount of time it takes an IndyCar to lap Road America is about 1 lap here for a Brazilian stock car at Fuji.
Yeah, pretty much. Just watching that, I think Facundo Rago and Vignone, they were both on push to pass, trying to close that gap a little bit to Chris Hill. And they actually did. I mean, Facundo Rago was 4.5 seconds behind Hill, and now he's within 3.5.
Yeah, he's within 3. And let's give you a readout on the push to pass situation with 7 laps remaining here at Fuji. I want to thank everyone for joining us, putting up with the audio issues to start. Thank you very much for your patience. But you are watching Race First coverage of Stock Car Data Brazil Series, their Fuji International Speedway round, where we have 7 laps to go. Your leader is Christopher Hill. Christopher Hill has 3 push to passes left. Rago has 3 as well, and Vignone has 3. So your podium basically all have 3 more shots at this thing to try to close the gap.
Yeah, it looks like Rago went a little bit wider, and that's going to allow Chris Hill to rode enhanced that
Yep.
lead a little bit. So now it's back to 3.7, something like that. So he gained around 4 tenths.
I'm being told that the Texaco Star is also a Brazilian stock car livery. Well, I'm sure they got it from Yates Racing when it was on Winston Cup car for years and years and years before. But I will take your word for it.
Yeah, and we haven't talked a lot about Ben Luzon. He's been super consistent the entire season. He's always been around the top 5, around maybe top 6, top 8, and
yeah, exactly where he is. Yeah.
Doing a great job there in P6, and actually closing the gap to P5 with James Watson. He's running him down.
Yeah, it's a good segue right there. He is running down Watson as they enter turn 1 here. He is within striking distance. He has 2 push to passes left. Watson has 2. Dan Miglin has used all of his up. Matt Johnston has 1 left. Poteet has 1 left. Matthew Short, after starting on the front row and leading the first opening set of laps, unfortunately ran into some issues, had to do an extended stop on pit road. He has 4 left. Not many, not sure how many opportunities he's going to have to use those though, but he is the car with the most at the moment. So yeah, Luzon doing very well under braking, making up a lot of space there. He's cut it down to 1.1 seconds.
And there's another battle brewing right behind those guys where Oliveira just went by Dan Miglin, who spun out. That was the battle that was brewing. And Oliveira gets a spot.
Just like that, it's done.
Just putting the pressure. As Luzon has ran down James Watson again, and James Watson needs some push to pass. He's that's the second to last for him, so he's got to be mindful of when to use that last one that he has. And yeah, that's something else that can happen.
Wide there on the exit of 1. Yeah, he did, and that's going to allow all that space that he made up under push to pass. That is now gone, and we were right back to kind of where we were just about a lap prior.
Yeah, with the difference that now James Watson only has 1 left, and Luzon still has 2. Although my graphic still shows 2 for both, but that's oh no.
I show 1 for Watson for sure. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we've talked about that all season. Once you start to get that 100 extra horsepower in your car, your braking markers are gone. They're in an entirely different location, so you need to adjust for them, or you're gonna end up going wide or having to brake way too deep.
And it also impacts the way that you go into a corner and exit out of, because again, like we said, unlike IndyCar, when the second you come off 100% throttle, push to pass turns itself off. When you got push to pass engaged here, it's engaged for that entire time period, whether you're on 100% throttle or not.
Yeah, for sure. And throttle application is going to be much more of a kick than it usually is. I mean, these cars, they already pack a punch, and with that push to pass,
Luzon on push to pass. Here we go.
There we go, trying to gut for that P5.
He's going to pull it off. Even before we get to the corner now, we got to see if he actually is going to hit his marks here. Like he said, he's moving much faster. I think he started his braking much earlier that time, so I think he's going to make it through. Yeah,
very nice move there.
From very textbook pass. Very textbook pass. Very impressive.
And he was able to build a 1 second gap immediately to Watson, so maybe he's going to be able to run away from here a little bit.
Everybody with a slightly different line through, what is that, 100R?
Yeah, 100R, yep.
Yeah, some people are right on the line, right on the white line. Some are mid mid line, some are higher up, trying to maintain that speed, not turn the wheel as much. And Watson's back. He's right there with him now again.
Back. And this might be a passing zone, like you said, Dunlop corner. Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, he made all that ground. He made it back up in just a couple of corners.
Let's go through the field, take a look at everybody really quick here before we get to the white flag. As we are quickly approaching the end of the feature race. Here's your leader, Christopher Hill. He leads by 2.5 seconds over your points leader, Rago. There he is. Rago started from the 8th spot up 6 for the feature. So he is looking at probably having a very good points day. P1 in the heat race, possibly P2 here in the feature. Plus starting on the front row in qualifications. Vignone, the Frenchman, he is P3. That is not a car for position in front of him. That is Drew White. Drew White is 1 lap down there. Drew leading him on by very nicely.
What a solid race again from Vignone. Like you were saying last week, we were with him and we kind of jinxed him, but he was doing a fantastic job, and he's doing it again this week. So yeah, great job from that number 33 Corolla.
There's JJ Wang all by himself at the moment. He has 12 seconds up to Vignone and 9 seconds back to Luzon. So he, provided he hits his marks and everything, he has a pretty comfortable top 5 looking his way in the future. Here's Luzon. We were watching him not too long ago in a battle with James Watson for 5th. They are still battling out. There is James Watson right there in 6th. Oliveira not too far behind this group. If he had some more time, he might be able to run them down. Throwing luck to the wind with that number 13. He currently is in P7. Dan Miglin, who's had a couple of instances off, but is still recovered. He's in the opposite of the 13, the 31, and he is in P8. Matt Johnston, he is in a P9. And Poteet right there is in P10 as your top 10. Montero has recovered from probably was a pit road in penalty, but he is up to 11th, and he is the last car on the lead lap. And then there is Drew White right there. We just saw him. He is doing a good job learning the road courses. Much like me, he is an oval expert. So we don't turn right very well very often, but he's doing a much better job than I am. Making a good showing here in the Brazilian Stock Car Series. 12 cars currently running. First car out, Matthew Short, Josh Tucker, Macera. Oh, don't want to jinx Drew. He slid through 10 there a little bit, but kept it going. Call that a learning opportunity, I guess. And Bruno Miranda is rounding out the remainder of the field in 16th. So there's going to be some changing with points happening here at the conclusion of this battle, especially with Bruno Miranda finishing last here in the feature.
Yeah, Chris Hill is about to take the checkered here.
Yeah, he is doing the Isaac Morris weave down the front straight. And he gets the victory there over Facundo Rajo, excuse me. He just by over about 2 seconds. Ragon should be making, there he is. He makes the trip across the start-finish line. Here comes JJ Wang. He's going to get himself another top 5.